Let's go Dolphins! The Dolphins are about to make moves that could define the next decade of the team's history. From Tua Tagovailoa's future to surprising trade scenarios and bold draft strategies. And what I've discovered might change your view of this roster, this front office, and even Coach Mike Mcdaniel. Believe me, Dolphins fans, you won't want to miss a second of this. But before I delve into all of that, if you're a true Miami Dolphins fan, following the highs and lows and all the disappointments, click the like button right now. Only true fans know what it's like to live this roller coaster. And if you're one of those die-hard fans who bleed aqua and orange, leave a comment saying, "Go Dolphins! My heart bleeds aqua and orange." Let's go. This could be the most important offseason of the Chris Greer era, and I have all the inside information here. Let's get straight into the biggest question surrounding this franchise right now. What's going to happen with Tua Tagovailoa? There's growing belief that the Dolphins will move on from him this offseason. Yes, you heard that right. Whether by cut or trade, all signs point to Tua not being on the roster for the 2026 season. Now here's the bombshell. If Miami cuts him before June 1st, they're looking at a staggering $99 million in dead cap. Wait until after June 1st, and it drops to $67 million, but the remaining $32 million would then be pushed into 2027. Financially, it's a huge hit no matter what. But the strategy, according to some inside thinking, is to take the full brunt of the cap hit in 2026. Why? Because 2026 is expected to be a down year anyway. Just eat the loss now, clean the books, and open up cap space and flexibility for a full-on roster overhaul by 2027. As for trading him, forget about it. Miami won't be getting real value in return. It wouldn't be a trade for picks. It would be a salary dump. A scenario where the Dolphins might have to attach a draft pick in cash to convince another team to take him. Think of something like Tua plus a fourth-round pick and $30 million just to get him off the books. No one around the league is looking to hand Miami anything in return for a quarterback who's underperformed and carries a massive cap number. That's a tough pill to swallow considering how much hope once surrounded Tua's rise under Mcdaniel. This all signals a new direction under center, and right now, that might be rookie quarterback Quinn Ewers. He's raw, he's inconsistent, but the Dolphins coaching staff seems willing to ride it out with him through 2026, especially if the team is in cap purgatory. His debut was rocky, graded just 62.1 out of 100, but there were flashes. He showed good connection with Jalen Waddle and made some big throws in clutch moments. But his next two games against playoff-hungry teams, Tampa Bay and New England, are going to be critical evaluations. Can he handle the pressure? Can he take a leap? If he does, he might just earn the keys to the offense during a rebuild year. Now let's talk draft. The Dolphins are currently holding the 10th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, but they could move up to 8th if they lose out and the Bengals and Saints win just one game each. That opens a lot of possibilities. And no, before you ask, Malachi Lemon should not be the pick. Talented? Absolutely. But worth a top 10 selection? Not even close. If Miami's going wide receiver, Jordan Tyson from Arizona State or Carnell Tate from Ohio State are stronger prospects who bring more explosiveness and better upside at that draft range. Then there's the tight end room. Darren Waller, though productive since returning from injury, is not expected to be re-signed. Why? Mike McDaniel reportedly favors Julian Hill for his blocking, and Greg Dulcich has shown more versatility as both a receiver and blocker. Waller's price tag and age don't fit Miami's likely rebuilding path. Instead, the Dolphins could pursue a younger, more cost-effective tight end through free agency or the draft. Names like Chika Okonkwo, Isaiah Likely, or even a Day 2 rookie could fill that TE3 spot and develop within the system. And don't be shocked if more draft capital is on the horizon. Miami already picked up a third-rounder from the Eagles in the Jalen Phillips trade. They now have 5 picks in the top 100. More could come if they decide to move on from names like Bradley Chubb, Minkah Fitzpatrick, or even Austin Jackson. None of those are confirmed yet, but the idea is being floated internally. Big-name trades could bring in valuable mid-round picks to help retool the roster for 2027 when Miami wants to re-enter the contention window. And what about Jalen Waddle? Some fans have suggested trading him to maximize value now while he's still under contract. But here's the deal, unless a team offers a haul, like a first and a second-round pick, the Dolphins are better off keeping him. Waddle remains a dynamic weapon and is the kind of receiver you want in place for a young quarterback. His chemistry with Quinn was on display last week, 5 catches for 70 yards. If Miami's offense is going to give their next QB any chance, keeping Waddle is essential. Because the reality is, if the Dolphins are going to reset and retool for a serious run in 2027, the moves they make now, this upcoming offseason, will shape the entire trajectory of the franchise for the next 5 years. And the front office knows it. That's why there's so much weight on what happens with this year's draft and potential trades. With 5 picks in the top 100 already secured, Miami has an opportunity to reshape its identity and inject some serious youth and talent into key positions. But the question is, how bold are they willing to get? Let's start with this draft class and how the Dolphins might attack it. Forget the splashy top 10 wide receiver talk for a second. Yes, Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson are big-time talents, but Miami's needs might run deeper. If Quinn Ewers is the bridge quarterback, and this is a transitional year, then prioritizing the trenches could be a smarter long-term move. The offensive line needs help. There's buzz about possibly moving on from Austin Jackson, and that would open up a major hole at right tackle. If the Dolphins want Quinn to develop and not get shell-shocked every Sunday, they need to protect him. Interior line help is also crucial. If Miami can land a top-tier guard or center in the second or third round, that could go a long way in stabilizing this offense. And let's not forget, establishing a strong run game will be essential for a young quarterback. That's where adding a physical tight end who can block at a high level and occasionally slip out for receptions becomes invaluable. Keep your eye on names like Kata 10, Eli Sturz, or even Max Clare. These aren't headline-grabbing picks, but they're exactly the kind of foundational players Miami desperately needs in this retooling phase. Now, back to the wide receiver situation. The Dolphins could absolutely go BPA, best player available, with their first pick if one of the top receivers falls to them. Imagine rolling into 2027 with Jalen Waddle and Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson lining up for a new franchise quarterback. That's firepower, and that's how you give your offense a real identity. But that only makes sense if you're fully committed to keeping Waddle. The idea of trading him? It only works if someone offers a massive return. A single late first-round pick isn't enough. That's not value, that's desperation. If Miami trades Waddle, it needs to be for multiple picks, or at least a first and second, otherwise you're not getting close to equal production in return. And that brings us to Mike McDaniel. Is he staying? According to internal thinking, yes. Unless something drastic happens, McDaniel is expected to return in 2026. And that matters, because McDaniel has a type. He values tight ends who can block, receivers with speed and precision route running, and quarterbacks who can process quickly and deliver the ball in rhythm. That's why his loyalty to Julian Hill makes sense. Hill isn't flashy, but he's exactly what McDaniel wants in that TE room. Darren Waller might be the bigger name, but with age, injuries, and limited blocking ability, he just doesn't fit the long-term blueprint. Greg Dulcich? He's shown promise and has more upside than Waller for what this offense needs. Defensively, there are still massive questions. What's the future of this pass rush? Bradley Chubb could be moved. He still holds value around the league, and trading him could open up space and get Miami a decent draft return. Same goes for Minkah Fitzpatrick. If you're not contending in 2026, and you're staring down a full rebuild in 2027, why hold on to veteran stars who will be aging out of their prime when you're ready to win again? These are tough decisions, but this is what smart front offices do. They plan 2 years ahead, not just one offseason at a time. And it's not just about talent, it's about cap space. That's why taking the full dead cap hit for Tua in 2026 is starting to look more and more like a strategic move. Miami could clear the books heading into 2027, have a high draft pick, and reset the entire roster under a new quarterback, one who comes in with a full cap and multiple weapons ready to go. That's the long play. It's painful, but it's smart. Of course, there's always the wild card, adding more draft capital. Miami could move pieces, not the core guys like Waddle or a Chain unless the offer is too good to pass up, but players like Austin Jackson, Chubb, or even someone like Javon Holland if the front office believes they're not part of the long-term window. These moves would likely yield mid-round picks, but in a draft where Miami already owns 5 top 100 selections, a couple more day 2 picks could be game changers. Stack up talent, build depth, and give yourself room to hit on a couple of gems. The truth is, this is a franchise at a crossroads. The 2026 season is shaping up to be the bridge year. The Dolphins might not be contenders, but they can't afford to waste time either. Every pick, every signing, every cut must align with a 2027 comeback. That's the year they want to be competitive again. So whether it's riding with Quinn Ewers, drafting a future WR1,